Hey, yo, savage to the core. I'm seeing red, I'm seeing gore. Really, now I want more. Now I scratch that, I want everything in store. Your worst nightmare, savage to the core. I'm seeing red, I'm seeing gore. Really, now I want more. Now I scratch that, I want everything in store. I said work it, drop it to the floor. Kicking it at her.
Shaniya, if you're listening to Daddy, I miss you so much, honey, and I'm waiting for you. I'm not going to give up, and you don't give up either, honey.
A father's plea for any information that might lead to the whereabouts of his 5-year-old daughter.
I think about those last seconds, and you was the last thing my daughter got to look at.
It's about a child sold for $200 by her own mother to a man in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Although this is an older case, it strongly reminds me of the Kamarie Holland case. Both the same concept. Both mothers sold their babies for money. Both heartbreaking cases. Come join me today if you can handle the heartbreak. I'm going to give you a warning, though. This involves essay of a child, and it is a disturbing case. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Holly, and this is The Murder She Shed, the place we discuss the dead right from my she shed. No subscribe, do subscribe, I don't care. But either way, make sure you visit us again in the she shed. Thank you for joining us for Suspense She Shed Sunday. Let's begin. Bradley Lockhart met Antoinette Davis at a party he attended in 2003. They ended up having a brief relationship, and Antoinette became pregnant and gave birth on June 14, 2004 to a beautiful baby girl named Shaniya Davis. For the first 2 years of Shaniya's life, she lived with her mother, and her father, Bradley, just picked her up for weekend visits. At the beginning of 2007, Bradley was doing pretty well financially and was able to buy a home. Shaniya then moved in with her father and his 4 other children in their beautiful new home. She started living with her father because of her mother's drug addiction issues. Shaniya was a bit of a tomboy and enjoyed playing basketball with her little brother. But she had a touch of girly girl as well. She could often be seen playing dress-up, prancing around the house with her dress-up plastic heels on. She loved to sing and wanted to join the children's choir at the church the family attended. Shaniya was bubbly, loved to talk and tell jokes. Her father said she could be almost annoying because once you were friendly to her, she'd talk your ear off. She was happy with her life while living with her dad. On October 2009, Antoinette said she had gotten off drugs and wanted her daughter back. Her father was working out of town a lot, so he decided it would be good for her to spend some more time with her mother. And she said she was off drugs, so he let her come stay with Antoinette again, which he later would say was the worst mistake he ever made. She would only live with her mom for 1 month before her brutal murder. Antoinette lived in a trailer with her sister Brenda Davis at Sleepy Hollow Trailer Park in Fayetteville. Brenda Davis' children and her boyfriend lived at the back of the trailer. Antoinette lived in the front of the trailer with her children, Shaniya, who was now 5, and Shaniya's half-brother, who was 7. During this time, Antoinette had a new boyfriend and was pregnant again. Even though Shaniya was living with her mother again, Bradley called his daughter daily, and he continued to pick her up on the weekends if he wasn't out of town for work. Brenda Davis, Antoinette's sister, had dated a man named Mario McNeil. Mario had actually given Brenda the deposit to move into the trailer they now lived in. Mario was a drug dealer. He had a previous history of offenses and was on probation for an April 2008 conviction for drug possession, speeding to elude arrest, and assaulting a government official. He also was convicted in 2003 for a triple shooting and in 2007 for another drug offense. Late in the evening of November 9, 2009, Mario drank liquor and was taking drugs. he began texting women he knew in order to hook up. These included Brenda Davis and another woman who lived in the Sleepy Hollow trailer park. The other woman invited him to visit, but when he got there shortly before 3 a.m., she had fallen asleep. Imagine that. So Mario went to Brenda and Antoinette's trailer. He woke Antoinette up when he came into the trailer and told her to go get Brenda. She said no, and then he began hassling Antoinette about the $200 she owed him for a drug debt. He told Antoinette he either wanted cash now or she needed to have sex with him. Antoinette refused to have sex, but that didn't stop her from offering her little 5-year-old daughter to him in order to pay off her drug debt. Sickening. Just like the Kamarie case, just completely sickening. Brenda would later testify she had heard someone come in, but she didn't get up to see who had come in. Antoinette went and woke her sister Brenda up around 6 a.m. and asked her if she had seen Shaniya. Then Brenda said Antoinette went around the trailer park, knocking on doors in order to put up this act of not knowing where her daughter was. While Antoinette was gone, Shaniya's brother told Brenda that he had seen Mario in the apartment. Brenda immediately started texting and trying to call Mario, but received no answer. When she returned, Brenda told Antoinette to call 911, but Brenda said she seemed hesitant. She finally did, and here is that 911 call.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Antoinette Davis at 1160 ACP Hollow.
Ma'am.
My name is Antoinette Davis at 1116 ACP Hollow.
Okay, I'm not getting your address clearly. Can you slow down a little bit and tell me again?
1116 ACP Hollow.
1116A?
16.
16?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. How can I help you?
I woke up this morning and my daughter was not in the house. I don't know if she walked out or I don't know what's going on, but she's not here.
How old is your daughter?
She's 5.
5?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What time did you wake up? When did you last see her?
I saw her at 5:30 last night.
5:30 last night. Is that when you put her to bed?
Yes, ma'am. No, when she went back to bed.
Okay. That was 5 this morning. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were there any doors open or anything like that?
She know how to unlock the front door.
Okay. What is her name?
Shaniya Davis.
Spell that name for me.
SHANIYA.
And is she white, black, or Hispanic?
She's mixed.
Okay.
She's biracial.
What was she wearing?
She's wearing just a big old blue shirt with designs on the front, but her hair is out.
Okay. Did she have on any pants?
She didn't take no shoes, no pants, no nothing.
Did she have on underwear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know what color?
They're white and got pink. I guess I can't really remember. They're like white with pink designs on them.
Okay. Okay. And you said none of the doors were open?
No, ma'am. They were locked, but she knows how to unlock the front door.
Was it closed this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said it was around 5:30?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you checked the neighborhood?
I checked everywhere. I haven't checked the back end of the neighborhood yet, but I checked the front end.
Brenda went outside to wait on the ambulance. She then noticed what looked like feces on the stairs and railing of her front porch, and it had not been there the night before. When officers arrived at the house, they observed Antoinette pouring water on the stairs and railing. The officers instructed her to stop. The officers, seeing that there was feces on the stairs, they also found a blanket in the dumpster outside that had feces on it as well. They took Antoinette down for an interview, which she told them Shaniya had been last seen with her boyfriend, which caused him to be falsely arrested. See, she's not only a winner of a mother, but also a winner of a girlfriend too. Double whammy there. The next day, a maintenance worker at a local Comfort Inn called police after seeing an Amber Alert and let them know he had seen a man check in with a little girl similar to Shaniya, and he had also left with her. He stated when they had left, he had an odd feeling that something wasn't right. He said the man was carrying the little girl when he left and she was completely covered, but at the time he assumed she was sleeping. He couldn't get the man out of his mind. After he had made eye contact with him, he felt something wasn't quite right, and then he seen the Amber Alert. The officers went to the room they had stayed in and also checked surveillance videos. And this is when they discovered the last time Shaniya would be seen alive. And it would be in the arms of the man who had viciously RIP'd and murdered her. When brought in for an interview, he denied going to Brenda's trailer, but they showed him the video evidence. Gotcha. He then started saying Antoinette had called him to come pick up Shaniya at the trailer and take her to a certain location where a man was going to pay him to have sex with her. They asked him where Shaniya was now. He stated he did not know. That could have been a convincing story if it wasn't for the fact of forensic evidence. Antoinette had been interviewed 4 or 5 times and lied every single time. Mario's cell phone pings put him at the trailer, hotel, and then the site he had dumped little Shaniya's body. 6 days later, after her body had been dumped, she was located by cadaver dogs. He had dumped her in an area hunters field-dressed deer. Near the deer carcasses, her little body lay tucked under a log. Antoinette later said he was only supposed to have sex with her, not kill her. An autopsy determined that Shaniya died of being strangled and that injuries she suffered were consistent with SA. She had a bruise on her left cheek, scraping injuries to her little thighs, and also scraping injury in the private area. She had also been sodomized even before he left her front porch. That is why the feces had been on the stairs of the porch. Mario's DNA was found on her blanket. It was found in the trash dumpster and in the hotel bedding. Mario was sentenced to death, and Antoinette only got 17 years. I feel she should have been sentenced to death too. To me, she is more guilty than him. She was supposed to love and protect that little girl. In 2018, Mario appealed his conviction and sentence, arguing they should be thrown out because his original attorneys violated attorney-client privilege and provided ineffective counsel. He lost the appeal, thank God, and still has the death sentence. The Kamarie Holland case was exactly the same way. Her mom sold her for drugs. She was strangled, RIP'd, and murdered just like Shaniya. I pray that Kamarie's mom does not get off so light on charges as Shaniya's mom did when the case does go to court. Shaniya's dad broke my heart in an interview. You can tell he loved her so much.
I thank you so much for not forgetting about Shaniya and bringing her home. It's not the result I wanted. It's not the result any father or family would want for their children. But God has a greater calling for all of us.
And his son was murdered by 2 men just 5 years ago when the boy was 20 years old. He was shot in the chest. So now he has to suffer another one of his child's death. Both were murders. That's crazy. I can't imagine 2 children dying before you, much less them both being murdered. That would be so traumatizing. Children are not supposed to die first before their parents. I do pray for him and his family. That is horrible. I can't even imagine the pain. Thank you guys for joining me for Suspense She Shed Sunday. I went ahead and left a small amount of bloopers. I figured you guys needed some cheering up after that case. It was a rough one. Well, I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a great, blessed week this week. Bye. Thank you for joining me for Suspense She Shed Sunday to a little girl named June 14th. Although this isn't, but either way, make sure you check in with a little girl similar to Shaniya. Similar to Shaniya. Why am I saying Shaniya? when they discovered the last time Shaniya, shit. I know a lot of you might be too young, but I don't know if y'all remember those little Chevy Chevette cars. They look like, they're just kind of, they're not like slug bugs, but sort of were. Like they're uglier than slug bugs. But anyway, I had a brown one, and I called it the little brown turd. And I had it when I was in high school. This is so embarrassing. I don't even know why I'm telling it, but anyway, and me and my cousin had to drive it just back and forth to school every day. She rode with me and I would drive it. And one time we were late for school and we got it in our head we were going to pass the school bus. Well, that car had no get up and go. It could barely go anywhere. Let's just say, as we went to try to pass the bus, we got about halfway in the middle of the bus and I could not gain ahead of the school bus. Here are people on the school bus that we know my little brown turd will not pass this school bus. How embarrassing is that? So, I have to slow back down and get behind it and ride all the way to school behind this school bus, knowing when I get to school, I am going to get so made fun of in my little brown turd. I want to talk about embarrassing. Oh Lord, my cousin won't ever let me live that down. She often talks about that moment when I tried to pass the school bus. And that thing, you know what else it didn't have? It didn't have brakes. And I'm not even lying to you. You're going to think I'm lying, and I am not, I swear. But if I stopped too fast, it didn't make a complete stop at the stop sign. So I literally had to stick my foot out the door and push my foot down to like finish stopping it. Like Freddie Flintstone did in his car when it didn't have any bottom, sort of like that. Everybody thinks I'm lying when I tell that story. I swear to God, I'm not lying. You can ask my cousin. And I had to drive that stupid car my whole high school. No, I think I got a new one my senior year. Well, it wasn't new. It was a used vehicle. It was a Ford Taurus or something like that. Not much better. I mean, it was better. Just definitely better than the little brown turd. 100% better compared to it. I was pretty proud of it, actually. That's my crazy story for today. Like you wanted to hear that. My life is crazy. It's embarrassingly crazy. Well, see y'all later. Bye.
Savage to the core. I'm seeing red, I'm seeing gore. Really, now I want more. Now I scratch that, I want everything in store. Your worst nightmare, savage to the core. I'm seeing red, I'm seeing gore. Really, now I want more. Now I scratch that, I want everything in store. I said work it, drop it to the